to Michael's Kitchen. We got a St. Patty's Day special today, shepherd's pie. Big shout out to my big boy Eamon from Great Neck. We used to play at St. Aloysius and the band and the whole 9 yards, and go to New York City and play in the parades. But St. Patty's Day, the ingredients we're gonna need today for the shepherd's pie filling. We got two pounds of ground lamb. We've got 2 carrots chopped up. We got 1 large white onion chopped up. We're gonna use some tomato paste. So a tablespoon of Goya total seasoning, half a tablespoon of paprika, half a tablespoon each of rosemary and thyme, 2 tablespoons of flour, some peas. We're gonna use a half a cup of red wine, a half a cup of chicken broth. Gonna use a couple of splashes of Worcestershire sauce. For the topping, for the potato topping, we got our 4 potatoes here, some butter we're gonna use, of course garlic, salt, pepper, and smoked paprika for the topping. So, working on the filling, I got my cast iron skillet already heated up. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And to that, I'm gonna first start off softening up the onions and the carrots. So as you can see, the onions and carrots have been going for about 5 minutes. The onions are reduced. About ready to add in my 2 pounds of lamb. Got the lamb in there, and I'm going to use my trusty, dusty meat grinder. If you guys saw the links, we'll put a link up here where you can see the video that we used it, and we'll put a link in the description where you can get it. I'm going to break this up because I hate chunks of unseasoned meat. As you guys can see, the lamb is letting out all its juice. When all the juice is gone is when I'm going to start adding in the remaining ingredients. Most people make the mistake of draining off this juice, but I like to leave it in there because it makes the filling much more succulent. I've got all that lamb, that rich lamb flavor that stays in there when I mix in the wine and the chicken stock or the chicken broth. It just makes for a better filling. So again, patience is a virtue. I'm just almost dry here, so now I'm going to take the opportunity to put in 2 key ingredients, or 2 key components. First one is I'm putting 4 cloves of fresh garlic on the bottom of the pan to saute that up. And like my wife says, garlic makes everything better. And I'm going to give that stirring up, and you can smell as soon as it hits that pan, the garlic starts coming off of there. Then I'm going to put in a tablespoon of tomato paste into the bottom of there. And I'll combine all those ingredients. And we're almost there for the next steps. So as I've got my filling going, I went ahead and put on those 4 potatoes I showed you. I just peeled them and chopped them and put them in a pot of heavily salted water. Coming back to the star of the show, I'm going to go ahead and add in the 2 tablespoons of flour, because I want to cook that flour off and incorporate that. Again, this is where we're going to make our gravy. I'm going to incorporate all that flour in there. And I'm going to cook that for 2 minutes at least to get rid of, or cook the raw edge off the flour. Flour's been going. I'm going to add in my tablespoon of Goya total seasoning, half a tablespoon each of the thyme and the rosemary, and of course the tablespoon of paprika, regular paprika. I'm going to give that a nice stir to combine all those ingredients. Now I'll add in my wet ingredients. I'm going to put in a couple of shots of Worcestershire sauce. I'm going to add in that half a cup of red wine. And I'm going to add in the other half. That smells good already. Half a cup of the chicken broth. Give that a quick stir. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision. This is coming together perfect. When this thickens up after I put that flour in there, perfect, and we're good to go. I'm going to start making my cream to add to the potatoes to make the potatoes creamier for my topping. So half a stick of unsalted butter. And to that, I'm going to add in 3 cloves of garlic. And I'll just watch this as it incorporates and keep my eye on it so it doesn't bubble off. To my butter and garlic melting away, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of whipping cream and about a teaspoon of smoked paprika, not regular paprika. I want to add a smoky finish to the top. Filling is just about there, but before I say it's done, I'm going to do 2 things. Taste for seasoning is 1, and enjoy.
Smells good. The wine.
So when we were off camera, the missus asked me, what if it was low? Well, you have a couple of choices. I can put salt and pepper, which I had readily available here to go in, the salt and pepper. Or since I put the chicken broth in there, I could put a chicken bouillon cube to spike it up if it was off. But this right now, for my profile, is perfect. So my filling, as far as I'm concerned, is just waiting for the potatoes. So next step, peas. Add my peas to the bottom and incorporate that to the filling. And now we're done.
That smells good.
So my lamb is done. My cream for my potatoes is done. My potatoes are off and supposedly cooling. I've got my potato ricer ready to go. So here we go. Start mashing these potatoes up. And I should say ricing the potatoes. This will help me get a nice creamy texture to put on top of the shepherd's pie. See how this is coming out? Look at that. Now I'm going to add that half a stick of butter. Cream, the smoked paprika, the garlic. I'm going to add that to the potatoes. And then I'm going to add, and make sure all that garlic comes out. I want all of it. And then I've got about half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add that to the mix. And I'm going to combine all that together. Look at the color that gives to the potatoes.
It smells so good.
The cheese is going to get in there. This is what I'm going to top my shepherd's pie with. Time to build. So I'm going to take a scoop of my filling with the lamb, the carrots, the onions. I'm going to fill up the bottom of my bowl, my cute little bowls here. And can't forget the peas, of course. And I'm going to top that off with a generous scoop of our potatoes.
Yeah, Michael style.
Michael's way of our potatoes. I'm going to put that on the top of our base there, and then I'm going to smooth out and seal it. And there you go. That's your shepherd's pie topped. Time to go into a 400-degree oven for about 10 to 15 minutes and then check to see if the coloring is good. So here we go. "15 minutes later, here we go. Look at that color. Look at that color. I don't know if you guys can see, but the missus made me put cheese on top. Tell her shepherd's pie don't get no cheese, but this is Michael's kitchen, so we can hashtag have it your way. We've come to my favorite part of the video. Time to see what we got going on here. And yes, I'm going to sacrifice myself for the views. You should really let this rest for 10 minutes. I ain't got time for that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my wedge that I want to taste and scoop out, and you guys can see, look at that. The carrots, the peaches, The carrots, the peas, the onions, the gravy, the red wine that we had in there, the chicken broth, the potatoes came out great. That's just...
Looks delicious and smells. Oh, let's go eat.
That's just... It's dangerous, but it's just looking too good to pass up. So I'm gonna go in. Let me tell you, the smoked paprika, the garlic, the Parmesan cheese, the heavy cream, the peas, the carrots, it just all comes together. The wine and that gravy in the bottom of here is just, it's just really good. It's just really good. I will tell you this, my wife tasted the meat that was left over after I filled up all the bowls, and she said, this is what it's supposed to taste like when we go out to eat? I said, yeah, when you order your shepherd's pie, that's what it's supposed to taste like. And she said, I've never had it that good. And this is straight fire. So happy St. Patrick's Day. That said, if you liked the video, don't forget to like the video. Comment down below if there's anything you want us to make in particular. Subscribe for more content. That said, a buen tiempo.